be the tallest one. I'm Gina Marie Tolleson.
And finally, Miss South Carolina, Gina Tolleson. One of this extraordinary dozen will be the next Miss USA. And finally, this is Miss South Carolina, Gina Tolleson, who's 20, a broadcast major at the University of Georgia. And 2 days after you got out of high school, you ended up in Paris. What were you doing?
I went to Paris 2 days after graduation to model.
Now, you came from kind of a small community where you used to that big town lifestyle?
No, well, I'm an only child, so of course I'm daddy's little girl. And 2 days after high school graduation, I was into the European fast lane.
Did you have any difficulty adjusting to coming back home?
No, not at all. I was anxious to come back to America, but being in Europe is just, it was the most wonderful experience for me, a growing experience.
Now, you want to go into broadcasting. These days, you hear a lot of gossip versus news on the radio and television. You think it's balanced properly?
No, I don't. I think that we're beginning to live in a little fantasy world. There should be a little bit more reality to our news. They're getting too involved with gossip about personalities.
All right, hold half a second here, if you will, for the judges. Thank you very much, and if you'll join the other ladies, the South Carolina's score, the average, will appear. Very nicely done, ladies. Thank you very much.
Well, if there are nerves, I sure wasn't aware of them. Let's bring up the scores from the semifinal interview competition we just saw and see how the judges evaluated the contestants. Miss New Jersey in the lead, followed very closely by Miss Michigan, Miss Alaska. I think these two were expected to do very well. Miss New Jersey, it's probably fair to say, was a bit of a sleeper during the week. She is coming on now very strong. We have got quite a race on our hands. It's nice to see so many of the parents in the audience. When we come back, a sensational production number from the contestants, and then hang on, it's the swimsuits.
And finally, Miss South Carolina, Gina Tolleson. Gina is 5 feet 11 3/4 tall. Her hair and eyes are brown. She's 20 years old.
I walk and work out in the gym. I have very dry skin, so I use every concoction available. I drink lots of water, take bubble baths for relaxation, and eat chocolate every day. I believe that with a positive attitude and a fit mind, anyone can be beautiful.
Thank you, ladies. That's the most beautiful rainy night I've spent in a long time. Now, we're 2/3 of the way to a decision on our 6 finalists, one of whom will become the new Miss USA.
All right, I hate them. Let's be honest with ourselves. Girls all over America are going to burn their swimsuits after this. Come on over to my house, ladies. We'll have a bonfire. All right, let's go to our monitor now and see if you agree with how the judges have scored the contestants in swimsuit. Miss Michigan is in the lead, followed by Miss Georgia and Miss Alaska in 3rd place. Now, you'll remember Miss Kentucky was the winner in the preliminary competition. Once again, this is just another indication that this contest is definitely up for grabs. And let's hear it from Miss South Carolina, a little chocolate every day, huh? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And finally, Miss South Carolina. That concludes our 1990 evening gown competition and our semifinals. Ladies, thank you very much.
yes, stunning ladies, gorgeous guys. Put them in their dress blues, and I'm gone. All right, let's see now who's leading in the evening gown competition. As we turn to the monitor, you'll see our judges have put Miss Michigan in the lead, followed by Miss New Jersey and Miss Kentucky as the crowd goes wild. Miss South Carolina, as you can see, was a very close fourth. This competition generally does favor the taller girls. Miss Michigan, Miss South Carolina, both almost 6 feet tall. The computer has now added up the composite scores from the interview, swimsuit, and evening gown competitions. It knows who the 6 finalists will be. Now, have you had your little calculator smoking at home? Well, then you probably know who they are, too. Stick around. We'll let everybody in on the secret as soon as we come back.
The next one is Miss South Carolina. Miss South Carolina, if you'll come on up here and dig into the bowl. She didn't even look, just grabbed it. Let's see what we have here. This is judge number 8, Jackie Joyner Kersey. Jackie, would you ask your question, please?
If the 80s was the me decade, what do you think the 90s will be?
I think the 90s is going to be a we decade. I think we're all going to pull together, and we're going to become very aware environmentally, educationally, and we're going to pull together for the world, and I think it's going to be a we decade.
Thank you very much. If you'll hold for a moment.
Everybody has got to be rooting for Gina down in South Carolina, which is my home state. Last time they had a winner was 1980 when Sean Weatherly was Miss USA and went on to win Miss Universe.
All right, if you'll return, please. And Miss Michigan, if you'll come forward. Saved a few questions for you here. We'll add to that list Miss South Carolina. And, gentlemen, if you would send me one of the other ladies. Miss South Carolina, did you enjoy the music in there?
Yes, it was wonderful.
All right, now, folks, hang in there. We have 20 seconds to answer. We've narrowed it down to just 3 of you. Why should the judges select you to be the new Miss USA 1990?
Well, I think you should select me to be the Miss USA. I'm a hard worker, and I see this as a great opportunity to represent the women of the 90s. We are starting a new decade, and I see myself as a role model of a hard worker, secure, and a confident person, and we are working for a better world.
Okay, thank you very much. Would you step over here, please? Miss Michigan, if you'd come forward. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the other 2 women. You'll have Miss South Carolina. It's extraordinary how these young women handle the pressure at a moment like this. Miss South Carolina's got to be nervous, but she looks absolutely calm and elegant. How do they do it? And finally, Miss Michigan. Ladies, let's go to the center. I'm about to reveal the name of our first runner-up and the new Miss USA, and let me remind you of the importance of the first runner-up. If Miss USA can't complete her reign for any reason, including the possibility of winning the title of Miss Universe this April, our first runner-up will be Miss USA. We have 2 sensational women left. Much good luck. Only one can be the person. I will announce the name of the first runner-up and then Miss USA. First runner-up is Miss South Carolina. Miss USA is Miss Michigan, Carol Gist. You are the new Miss USA. The cash awards and prizes are yours, and you'll be our country's representative in Hollywood at the Gala 1990 Miss Universe pageant.